I'm Abiodun Moses from Exodus Music City. You are welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to this channel, like, and or you can drop your comment. Thank you very much. Now today I want to discuss about the rudiment of music. The rudiment of music. Now under the rudiment of music, we want to discuss about two topics, which are number one, the stave and the clef. So these are the quick learning objective we'll be discussing today. Number one, the definition or the description of the stave and the clef, the types of clef, join clef on stave, the lines and spaces of the treble and the bass clef, then the great or grand stave. Now when I say stave, it can be called stave or staff. It can be called stave, S-T-A-V-E, and staff, S-T-A-F-F. So when I say stave, I also mean staff. Okay, so let's discuss about the stave or staff. A stave is made up of 5 lines with 4 spaces, just like your fingers. The staff consists of the 5 lines and the 4 equal spaces. Now just like your finger, we have finger 1, like just the fingers can start for the lines, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the spaces in between 1, 2, 3, 4. But you need to understand it that the lines and the spaces of the stave are counted from below. The lines and spaces are counted from below. So you start the counting from the lower line, then you count upward. Secondly, we want to discuss about the clef. A clef is a sign drawn at the beginning of a staff. It is a symbol drawn at the beginning of a staff. A musical notation, a musical symbol at the beginning of a staff is known as a clef. A clef indicates the pitch of a note on the staff. Now the clef indicates the pitch of the note on the staff. Basically, a clef is a symbol drawn at the beginning of a staff. So clefs are always drawn on a staff. Remember, the staff has 5 lines with 4 equal spaces, while the clef are the signs drawn at the beginning of a staff to determine the pitch. So let's go to the types of clef. There are 3 major types of clef, but I know you are all familiar with 2, but I'm going to give you the 3 major types of clef. So please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please just click the subscribe button, like the video, and you can drop your comment or any question. Thank you. So we are going to the clef, the types of clef. The number 1 type of clef is the treble clef. The treble clef is also referred to as the G clef. The treble clef is also referred to as the G clef because it is drawn right from the second line. The second line of the treble clef is the G. So when you place the treble clef on a staff, now the staff becomes the treble staff. When you place a treble clef on a staff, the staff becomes a treble staff. The number 2 types of clef we have is the bass clef. The bass clef is also known as the F clef. The bass clef is also known as the F clef. It looks like a question mark. It looks like a question mark with 2 dots at its front. So the bass clef is also known as the F clef because it is positioned on the line F below the middle C. It's positioned on the line F below the middle C. And I said the treble clef is also known as G clef, while the bass clef is known as F clef. So the 3rd types of clef we have is the C clef. Now the C clef is also known as the movable clef. Now it can be used as the alto and tenor clef. Now it can stand as the treble and tenor clef. So the C clef is a movable clef. It can be moved as it can be positioned as the alto and the tenor clef. It is determined by the middle C. Now you can see the drawing. Now the drawing, the middle, it looks like letter B. So the middle of the letter B is the C, is the line C. So the C clef is can be positioned as the alto and the tenor clef. But basically we have three types of clef. Remember I told you we have the treble clef, we have the bass clef, and we have the C clef. While the C clef can be positioned as the alto and tenor clef. But today we basically want to dwell on the alt and treble and the bass clef. Now let's discuss about the lines and spaces of the treble and the bass clef. In music, we make use of the first 7 English language alphabets. One more time, in music, we make use of the first 7 English language alphabet. The first 7 English language alphabets are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So in music, after G, there's nothing like H. In music, after G, you go back to A. So we have key, and the letters, they are not called letters in music, they are called keys. So we have key A, key B, key C, key D, key E, key F, and key G. So after G, you go back to A. So in music, we make use of those letters, the 7 letters, the 7 letters of the alphabet, A to G. The lines and spaces of the treble and bass stave and bass clef stave are named after the first 7 English language alphabet, which are called keys. The lines and spaces of the treble and bass staff are named after the 7 letters of the alphabet, which are called keys in music. So the lines and spaces of the treble stave. The first line of the treble stave is E. So when you know the first line of the stave, then you can read along. You can read on to get other lines and spaces. So the first line of the treble staff is E. So after E, the space will be F. After F, the line will be G. Now you can see why the treble clef, the treble clef is also known as G clef, because it is on line G. It is on line G. It is on line G. So the first line of the treble stave is key E. Then the first space is F. Then followed by G. Then after G, remember I told you after G you go back to A. There's nothing like H. So after G you go to A. So A. The next line we have the B. The space we have the C. The line we have the D. The space we have the E. Then the last line we have the F. So the first line of the treble staff is key E. So when you remember the first line of the treble staff, then you read on. So key E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Alright, now let's go to the lines and spaces of the bass stave. Now the first line of the bass stave is key G. Now when you understand the first line, then you read on. Remember after G you go back to A. So the first line of the bass stave is G. So can we read on? Let's read together. We have G and the space A, B, C, D, E, F. You can see why this the bass clef stave is called bass or F clef, because the dot is on line F. So we have F, we have G, then we have A. One more time, the first line of the treble staff is E, while the first line of the bass stave is G. So lastly, we'll be discussing about the great or ground staff. Now it can be called great, or it can also be called grand. So the British call it great, while the American call it grand staff. Okay, what is a great or grand staff? The great or grand staff is the combination of the treble and bass stave. The great or grand staff is a combination of the treble and bass stave with the middle C. It is usually joined together with the brace. You can see the brace that joined the treble and the bass, the bass stave together. So the bass stave, the great or grand stave, consists of 11 lines with 10 spaces. Now when you read, after the bass, there is a line in between them. There's a line in between them, which is the middle C. Now the line stands for the middle C. It divides the treble from the bass. So we have the treble and the bass. The combination of the treble and the bass stave is known as the great staff. Now the great staff is usually owned by the piano or the organ on music score, or probably used for close score, mainly used for the piano and the organ. So the great stave is joining together, is when you join the treble and the bass stave together. So the lines and space of the bar of the great stave. Now you know you could start from the lowest, the first line, the line below, which is the bass. So the first line of the bass is G. So we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then the last A, then the space B, then the middle C, then D, then the first line of the treble staff, which is E, then F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Abiodun Moses from Exodus Music. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, and drop a comment. Just drop your question. I'm going to answer all questions. So please drop your question. Make sure you ask a question. I'm going to answer the question. Thank you very much. We'll meet again in the next class.